Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Eagle Politics. Make sure you guys like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So Donald Trump is going up in the polls once again. We saw the CNN poll that was released yesterday, but then we see more polls. We see the Harvard-Harris poll that, was heavily for Trump, and then the last poll had it, a very close, tight race. It was basically, I think, tied. Now it's back up to Trump +4. You're seeing this happen again. Quinnipiac was Biden +6 in January. Now it's a tie. Morning Consult, their latest poll today, has it as a tie. They haven't updated it, so he's probably going to go to like a 1.5 point lead. And this is without Rasmussen or any like right-wing outlier pollster in the aggregate, and he still is taking a lead of 1.3%. And it is absolutely astounding that he's able to still 6 months away from the election. He's on trial right now, but he's actually changing course back to the direction that it was in before. He was up in the polls by, 1 to 2 points nationally. Biden spent a ridiculous amount of money already on the general election, but it's not moving the needle. Donald Trump still, he's leading. People are fed up. They're fed up with Biden. They see what's going on. And now Donald Trump is out there and he's taken a sizable lead. And when you look at this, it's just astounding when you look into the depths of what's going on with the legal system and how they're weaponizing it against Donald Trump, but it's not working out in their favor. The American people up to this point are not buying the nonsense. Not only are the cases just paper-thin cases to begin with, but you look at it and it's like nobody really is buying the lies that we see. Even CNN, their own network, is out there trying to sensationalize everything. But the one trial that is likely going to take place before the election, which is the trial that's occurring right now, is the weakest trial. And only 28% of Americans believe that Donald Trump should be disqualified if these charges are true or if he gets convicted or whatever. And that speaks volumes because of how many Americans just oppose him regardless. But I feel like a lot of those people can see that a lot of these things tend to be a little bit more politicized, more so than not. And even though they're asking leading questions on a CNN poll, you can't even get a third of the American public to get behind Donald Trump on this case. It just speaks volumes to what's going on. And that's what they have to do. This is why they're indicting him, because Biden cannot win on his merits. He cannot win based off of what's going on during his presidency. He can't. You have an economy that's not improving. People don't buy the gaslighting on the economy. They don't buy the gaslighting on the border. They don't buy the gaslighting. I mean, there's not even any gaslighting on his foreign policy. It's just an absolute disaster. So now Biden is trying to make the election about abortion and Trump. And while he's going to rally some people to his side on the abortion issue, Trump is basically saying, I'm leaving it up to the states. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that Democrats still aren't going to be energized on it, but he's neutralizing it as much as possible regarding independence, because if you have somebody that's running for president, let's say that wants a national ban at 12 weeks, then that's going to turn off independents a lot more than, oh, I'm not going to touch the issue. We'll leave it up to the states, because then the independents who care more about the economy, the border, etc., you name it, those type of people can gravitate more towards Trump, which is why now they're trying to indict him. They're, talking about the legal cases. They're trying to ramp it up in the media, but it's not working and it's backfiring. And we have data that shows that it's backfiring in a brutal fashion, because if Donald Trump is convicted, because they said, oh, well, now the goalposts are moving. If he gets indicted, he can't win. He's going to get destroyed. And he goes up after I said it would help him. And what did it do? It helped him. A lot of people ate crow on that one, including a lot of people on the right, by the way. But still, conviction, that's moving the goalposts again. And even then, the data in this poll showcases that if he's indicted, he is not going to even lose the popular vote, according to this poll. In fact, if he's indicted in the D.C. case, which is the 1-6 case, he's not losing any support. And Arguably, it could make some amount of sense for why that would be, because I think people are just really tired of hearing about that. And maybe the classified documents thing sounds more serious to people, or influencing the Georgia thing, even though I think the Georgia case is arguably the second weakest case. They're all weak cases. They're all cases that lack merit. And that's why it's important Trump might go out there and win that Supreme Court ruling for immunity. That's going to throw out a lot of charges on its own, because what they're doing is they're making it impossible for the president to do anything, because they literally can indict anybody over anything. You have impeachment as the means for punishing a president, and that's in the Constitution, not, oh, we're going to try to get him for certain actions. You know, technically that wouldn't apply to the hush money thing, even though that case is bogus. But you talk about some of these other cases like, oh, he's trying to use his position of power to ask questions about the election, whatever, that, 40% of Americans are asking those same questions. It's not like this is some radical minority opinion. People want more transparency in the system. They really do. And you can't necessarily silence or try to gaslight those people and get away with it, even if that's a little bit beside the point. The main point is that Donald Trump right now is in a good position to win that case, and he's in a good position to not really have any of these other trials happen. And the one that they didn't pull is the weakest one of all. If anything, you could say it's going to backfire further. It will. Because this is what they do when they can't win. It's a winning message for Trump. You're going to say that I'm the threat to the democracy or whatever. You're trying to imprison your political opponent. And the whole 2020 1-6 stuff from that point forward basically goes out of the window when you're trying to win that argument. Now, that's not to say that Biden can't win, because Republicans do have a turnout issue. The RNC needs to address it. I believe they're going to. I'm not super worried about it. I think Trump's in a very good position right now. I think he would win if the election is today. It's true, a lot can change, but we can't, let our guard down. We got to keep on fighting. And that means having good messaging and focusing on the issues that matter, like the border. And you see what's happening here. You look at this. Biden's press secretary going out there and saying that they're not going to move forward with executive action. Now, this is an underratedly horrible political move, and honestly, I think regardless of whatever Biden tries to do on the issue, it's not going to be a good look for him, because if he moves forward with trying to fix the border with executive action, you could say, well, why is he doing it now? You knew that you didn't need some nonsensical border bill that would have given amnesty to fix the problem. That bill wouldn't have even fixed the problem. But it's like, now you're a liar because you said that Trump caused the border crisis. The border crisis has been going on for years, trying to pass through some piece of sham legislation that still allows for a ridiculous amount of border crossings, basically is a free handout for green cards. That's not something that the American people want. You had an actual border bill that was sent to Schumer in 2023, H.R. 2, and he sat on it. And Biden's somebody who's taken executive action to dismantle border security. He could reverse course, but he's not going to. And they're not going to do this. And that kind of speaks volumes, because it shows that they don't care about the problem. They want the borders wide open. They're playing the long game. They realize even if we're not going to win this election, we still want these people here, and we want these people to get amnesty. We want this group of people to be these, Democrat voters. That's what they want. And if Donald Trump gets in office, there's a very good chance that he's going to go out there and unleash the greatest deportation operation in history, arguably since Eisenhower. Maybe we're going to need a bigger one than Eisenhower had. But when it comes down to it, that's what the American people want. They don't want these people that have poured across the border over the past 4 years to get citizenship. This is a Biden scheme. He's trying to go out there, and the people around him are trying to go out there and flood the country with basically the rest of the world's problems so they can stay in power. And they've arguably overplayed their hand a little bit. And now they realize that they can't really do anything, but even then not doing anything is something that's going to, get Biden attacked, because that's a top issue for independents, the border. That was not the case in 2020 or even 2016 when Trump made it an issue, but this is like Trump's signature issue. And it's the number one issue for a great deal of people right here, right now. And it's affecting the other issues. It's affecting the economy. It's affecting crime. It's affecting a lot of things. Every issue really stems from the issue of immigration. It's the most important issue that you have because it dictates what's in the electorate. You know, what types of people do we have in this country? How are they going to vote on certain things? Immigration's the number one issue. The Democrats understand that, which is why they're even willing to risk this election in part just because they want to import the rest of the world. You name it, they're going to do everything. If Trump gets in the White House, you know damn well there's going to be all these leftist judges that are going to try to strike down all of his executive orders. And of course, Trump's going to win in the Supreme Court based off of all of them because the president does have the authority pretty much over the immigration topic. But it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be successful, but they are going to try to delay it to make sure that these people can stay here as long as they possibly can. But you have, millions upon millions of people entering. The American people are taking note, and that's why Donald Trump is gaining in the polls again. And when they try to weaponize the justice system against him, well, it backfires, and I think it's a beautiful thing, but still, 6 months to go. This is a very good thing that he's leading with 6 months to go, despite being outspent. But still, we have a long way to go, and we need to keep fighting because if we don't and we drop the ball here, we have no country. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Like this video down below, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. The links are all in the description down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Red Eagle, out.